Brachot Perek Aleph Mishna Bet. Me'ematai koron et shma b'shachrit. Here's a parallel language exactly to the previous Mishnah, but instead of Arvit, we're talking about Shachrit now. Mimatai, from when could we read Kriyat Shema in the morning? When's the earliest time to say the morning Kriyat Shema? The Mishnah answers, Misha Yakir bein techelet l'lavan. Once it's light enough to see the difference between blue and white, to distinguish between something the color blue and something the color white. Rabbi Eliezer Omer bein techelet lekarti. Rabbi Eliezer disagrees with the Tanakama, and he says that it has to be even light enough to distinguish between the color blue from the color green. Clearly, both of these views are talking about before sunrise. Once the sun rises, it's quite light outside. But before sunrise, after dawn, when the rays of the sun start to come above the horizon and it starts to get light out, how light does it have to be to say Shema? Light enough to tell the difference between either blue and white, according to Tanakama, or blue and green, according to Rabbi Eliezer. The Mishnah continues, Hakore mikan ve'elech, if you read after this time, lo hifsid, don't worry, you don't lose by doing that. Ka'adam hakore ba'Torah, because it's like someone who's reading the Torah. On the surface, the Mishnah seems to be saying that there's no Aveira, there's no Bracha Levatala to say Shema after the time for Shema passes, after Zman Kriyat Shema, because Shema is Psukim from the Torah. If you're reading Psukim from the Torah, you get a mitzvah of learning Torah study. There's no Aveira to read Torah Psukim outside of the context of Shema. So you don't lose by saying Shema. Continuing now with Perek Aleph Mishnah Gimel. Beit Shammai Omrim. Beit Shammai say, Ba'erev, at night, Kol Adam Yatu v'yikru. At night, when you say the Shema, everyone should lie down when they say Shema. Uba Boker, and when you say Shema in the morning, Ya'amodu, you should stand for Shema. Shenemar, because of the pasuk, B'shach b'cha uv'kumecha. The pasuk, which is familiar to us from the text of the Shema itself, says that you say Shema b'shach b'cha uv'kumecha, when you lie down at night, and b'kumecha, when you get up in the morning. So Beit Shammai takes this literally and says the Shema at night should be b'shach b'cha when you're lying down, and the Shema in the morning should be b'kumecha when you're standing up in the morning. Ubeit Hillel omrim, and Beit Hillel say, Kol Adam korei kedarko. Beit Hillel say that's not necessary, or maybe it's not even appropriate. Beit Hillel say there's no need to lie at night or stand in the morning. Shenamar, because his pasuk is Ubelechtecha b'derech. That Shema is supposed to be Ubelechtecha b'derech. That same pasuk, which says B'shach b'cha v'kumecha, says also Ubelechtecha b'derech. When you're going on your way, however you're going. Imkain. If so, Lama Nemar B'shach b'cha uv'kumecha. If it's supposed to be said however you want, why does the Torah say B'shach b'cha uv'kumecha? Beit Hillel answers himself, B'sha'ah she'bnei Adam shochvim. It's at a time when people lie down. U'b'sha'ah she'bnei Adam omdim. When it says B'shach b'cha uv'kumecha, it's not referring to the posture of the person when he says Shema, but rather it's referring to the time period when Shema should be said. Shema should be said during the time of day that people go to sleep at night, and Shema should be said in the morning at the time that people are getting up. But the posture is B'lechtecha b'derech, as you are, however you are, when you're saying Shema. The Mishnah concludes with a story, an anecdote. Amar Rabbi Tarfon, Ani hayiti baba derech. I was once traveling. Vihiteti likrot, and I lie down. Seems like on the road or on the side of the road, he lie down to recite Shema kedivrei Beit Shammai, to follow the words of Beit Shammai. V'sikanti be'atzmi mipnei halistim, and Rabbi Tarfon says, I realized that I had endangered myself by lying down on the side of the road because of bandits, because of robbers. Amrulo. His colleagues told him, to Rabbi Tarfon, Kedai hayita lachuv ba'atzmecha. You brought it on yourself. You're responsible for the risk that you took for yourself. If you would have been harmed, it would have been your own fault. She'avarta al divrei Beit Hillel, because you violated Beit Hillel. You should have known better. You know the halacha follows Beit Hillel. You endangered yourself in order to follow Beit Hillel. That was your mistake and your responsibility, because there's really no reason to follow Beit Shammai in this case, as the halacha follows Beit Hillel.